Welcome to the corner, beautiful people. I go by Big Drip, aka 33 Cent, aka Lord Overthink, aka Captain Planet, aka the realest your mama ever heard of. To my left, it's the one, the only, the Light Drizzle, aka Tech Savvy, aka Magic Man, aka TY Ty, aka my better half. Drizzle, holla at the people for me.
Well, first off, hi. And second off, by the time you get through with all the nicknames, the video will be over.
Dude, I could do a 20-minute video of nicknames. Absolutely.
It'll just be nicknames, and
I could definitely do that.
20 minutes goes by, it's quick dip into nicknames.
Quick dip into the Big Drip.
But hello, everybody. Welcome to the corner. Glad to have you back to the family. We've been having separation anxiety.
Oh my God, like crazy.
So
it's essentially Stockholm Syndrome at this point, because I know you guys really don't want to be here, but you're starting to feel empathy for us, right? You're starting to like connect, like, you know, these people are holding us hostage, but maybe they have something else going on in their life. Maybe they're just really lonely or sad. Maybe they're orphans, you know, so that Stockholm Syndrome, we're really working in our favor, baby. Ha-ha.
Yeah, so hashtag Stockholm Syndrome.
Let's get it going, people.
Our push to 1,000 subscribers is going well. We are getting up there, and we're really excited. However, we're still not getting comments on the videos with the hashtag, so not a lot of entries.
That's okay. That's okay. Time. Look, we're trying to reach you people first, you know what I'm saying? So we every video, every time we get on camera, we bring it up, we mention it, so that way we hit more people, you know, we bring it up on social media, we bring it up on everything. But guys, like, we're being very serious about this. We're pushing for 1,000, and you know, there's something for you to benefit. Not only do you get great, wholesome content and two beautiful faces, but you also get a $20 Amazon gift card.
Yes.
Or possibly a t-shirt with my name on it.
Yes. So with that said, today, we figured it was appropriate, since our first two quick dips were Marvel related, we were going to dip into the DCEU, and we're going to showcase Wonder Woman 1984 today. So
yeah, boy.
We'll get it off. We'll get it started with a couple key elements from the trailer, the trailers that we've gotten thus far. It looks really cool. I like it's very colorful. You get to see Wonder Woman in a new battle armor. Maxwell Lord, which, I mean, kind of a secondary villain for the most part, but it looks like he'll play, you know, the essential role.
Well, he definitely, he's one of those characters that just kind of serves the purpose as far as, like, it's a cinematic universe, so obviously things need to be changed and or tweaked. So he's the perfect kind of character that is, like, you know, a part of the DC universe and is actually, you know, somewhat of a Justice League villain, etc., so forth, but he's the perfect character that's not known well enough that if they tweak and turn him and do a bunch of stuff to him, nobody's going to be bothered by it, right? There's no riots, or why did you change my Maxwell Overlord or whatever the guy's name is, you know? So it's
Lord.
Overlord,
that's you.
Lord,
that's you,
baby.
But yeah, so and in the comic books, he's changed in the comic books as well, so tweaking him for the movie isn't something that's unheard of.
Yep.
Originally, he showed up, his first appearance was in Justice League #1 in 1987 after they rebooted, you know, like DC does. You know, that's when he showed up. Then years later, he gained the abilities of telepathic suggestion, if you call it that.
The lamest superpower ever.
So he gained that years later after the invasion of the Dominators.
And might I add, so it's essentially what that means, people, is that he's just very persuasive, right? Like any common manipulative person you know, right? But so he just has the superpower of persuasion, and he can't even use it because it gives him like migraines and nosebleeds and stuff. And like if he uses it too much, his head's gonna blow up. So my man he's like the lowest tier superpower possible. I think Kite Man is above him.
Polka Dot Man
is many leagues above Max Overlord with the whole superpower range. If you can't even use his superpowers without your head exploding, then I'm sorry, you really don't count. Sorry. You're essentially just like us.
Yeah, just with, you know, just with
You're kind of persuasive. Whoa,
Yeah.
everybody look out.
Yeah.
Big bad Max Overlord coming through.
yeah. My mom told me that about myself years ago. So.
You know, I've heard that a million times. Big Drip, you're a horrible person and you're so manipulative. Why stop being so persuasive?
But so it looks like in the trailer he's going to become. So he's going to manipulate his way into the Oval Office.
Possibly.
Which kind of sounds familiar.
I haven't.
To what we're going on with, right now.
So I was thinking that as we were watching the trailer. I honestly wasn't. I didn't even bring this up to him off camera, but I'm getting a very big Trump vibe from this whole thing. And not for nothing, but like, please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't. Like,
Even like the yellow hair.
It's just silly to me. Like, fine, you guys have your political views, whatever, but please keep it out of my DC movies.
Yeah.
Superhero movies, I just don't want that.
That's where I go to get away from everything.
Yeah, please don't. If I cared about politics, I'd be watching debates right now, not talking about Wonder Woman on camera.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right. So yeah, definitely what he said.
I am getting that vibe, though.
Definitely what he said, with the whole, it seems like Patty Jenkins is going in the route of maybe some Donald Trump satire. Yeah. But so there, in a couple quick shots, it seems like he's on Air Force One and he's got this stone, like crystal looking thing. And it's looking like that's what grants him his abilities, or he's either retrieved this from somewhere or has been given it to him by someone.
Yes.
Maybe, Darkseid's Dominion, or who, we don't know.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems like he's come in contact with this thing, and it's allowing him. And that's clearly how we're getting Steve Trevor back.
Yeah. So I had a question for you, actually. Does Darkseid have his own Black Order?
Yes.
Yes. So consists of who? Do you know them by name off top?
They change frequently, and they're more like mind dummies.
Okay.
Rather than like specific characters.
Okay. So I asked.
But more or less, it's just the parademons.
Okay. So I ask because Thanos has his Black Order, right? So he has his like CGI army of disposable monster thingies, but then he has the Black Order, and they're the ones who are supposed to be the big guns and also do things for Darkseid, right? Because they actually are sentient and have like a conscience. They're just not some mindless beast. So I ask if Darkseid also has those, because that's possibly who could given him the stone that grants his abilities, or possibly Darkseid's trying to turn him into his Black Order, so to speak. You know what I mean? So my man is, he's about to become president, right? So he's president of the United States, so that means he has big influence in the human race.
Yeah.
So that's Darkseid's in, right? Like Darkseid, yes, of course he can just come to the planet and take over, but that's made abundantly clear that there's people in his way. The Justice League are here.
Right.
So all right,
well, at this point
infiltrate. They aren't, true.
Yes.
But either way, it's still, Darkseid could just come in and conquer, but rather, let me get somebody on the inside. Let me control a human that has heavy influence amongst the human race. So that way, when I do come in, I kind of have, I understand what's going on on Earth, I understand how these people function, etc., so forth.
Right, and that's what I mean. And maybe it's not Darkseid.
It could be somebody else, of course.
It could be.
Yeah, absolutely.
It definitely could be someone else. It doesn't necessarily have to be Darkseid. I just think, it's a stretch.
Yeah.
Right? It's a stretch, but I think that would be really cool. Almost kind of like what we were talking about earlier with Thanos and Loki. It just seems like he's gotten this thing and he's very protective over it.
Yep.
Someone.
Very similar to the Tesseract.
Yeah, I think someone's given it to him.
Yep.
We also get to see a cool. I just thought this was cool. So Diana riding lightning.
Oh my god! I thought that was amazing.
Pretty dope.
Dude, when we watched that at DC Fandome, I schoolgirled out for that. That was so cool. She wrapped the lasso around lightning people and then swung through the sky. If that's, I don't care who you are. That's cool. You can't tell me that's not cool.
Just very cool. And we got some parallel shots of her as a younger Diana.
Yep. Kind of training, going through, you know, very Olympic style. You know, this is Greece, people, so, you know, very Olympic kind of
there's
training.
Something called the Amazon Games.
Yes.
So that seems like what that's doing.
Yeah, essentially.
And it looks like Diana, as an 8 or 10-year-old, kind of outshines every single person there. So, well, every single Amazon there.
So it seems that as if that, you know, they're just picking up where they left off as far as her backstory. Like in the first movie, they showed us up until here. In the second movie, they'll show us from where they left off there up until, you know, whenever they decide to stop. But we're just getting more backstory on Diana. I just want to go back to the lightning thing. DC's like, you can always count on them for dope visuals.
Yes.
You know, their visuals are always on point, and they always have this very good, like, comic book-esque look, right? Their cinematography behind it, for example, Suicide Squad, Justice League as well also had it. A very comic book looking, like you look around and it's not just like regular plain old buildings and skylight. It has a comic book feel, almost as if like, you know, just a very good artist drew it. You know what I mean? I love that about DC. They have that, because Marvel very much just looks like you put these characters into New York City and that's it, because that is what it is. They just put them into New York City, you know? DC kind of does a good job as like making Gotham its own place and Metropolis its own place, you know? In other, like, I'll use Batman for example. In other Batman movies, it was abundantly clear that they were using a different city and pretending it was Gotham. You know, I'm not so far with the DCEU. I honestly can like feel like, oh, this isn't just some city, it's actually Gotham. You see what I'm saying?
I actually do know what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? And I like that a lot.
For instance, like The Dark Knight, you kind of understand like, okay, this is Pittsburgh, or this is Chicago, but it's Gotham right now.
Yes.
But in maybe Batman vs Superman, it doesn't look like a
Justice League.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a city that we know.
Yeah.
It looks like Gotham.
Exactly.
I do.
Exactly.
I agree
exactly.
with you there.
And DC is always good for that, and they're always good for dope visuals, whatnot. They need to work on their storytelling and character building. But there's good to bad, and you know, both sides. Marvel's not perfect. Let's not pretend like they are, people, you know? So that's why we picked Wonder Woman today, because we're both big fans of DC. We've yet to talk any DC.
Right.
So we wanted to, you know, get into that.
So there was one issue that I had with the first Wonder Woman film, and it was that the villain was heavily CGI'd.
Yeah, he was. He was.
I hope they're not. So, and you can see it from a couple shots of Cheetah,
which looks,
she really has that heavy CGI.
Yes, she does.
Yes, it doesn't. You know, I know it's just a trailer. But like some of the motions that Cheetah makes while she's fighting Wonder Woman in what seems to be the finale battle, it's very like it's a CGI blur, a blur rather than a person. So hopefully, with the extra time that they have,
maybe they
can touch up and do whatever. We're still hoping and praying that Patty Jenkins is going to deliver this movie on Christmas Day.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Patty
Fingers
Jenkins,
crossed,
as we said on the podcast, she went on record and made a statement about movie theaters in general, and how if we don't act now, you know, we could potentially be losing this aspect of movie going. So I think that kind of, it gives me hope that this movie will come out when it's supposed to.
Yes, and I believe, all right, so Patty Jenkins is very focused on trying to keep that movie experience alive, right? So, okay, fine, Warner Brothers and her sit down. All right, so let's do a Christmas release, right? That gives plenty of time for us. That gives more time for some understanding of this whole Corona thing and people to adjust accordingly, and the movie theaters will be open for some time so they can get that ball rolling and understand where they're coming from. And it's the holidays, right? So people are gonna want to go out. It's Christmas time, so let's release it in theaters then, and let's push heavy on the theaters. Let's push it heavy to go see it in theaters, but be safe, right? So you remind people to mask up, maybe bring some hand sanitizer with you, whatever, so forth, so on. But like, you see what I'm saying? Like a Christmas release is good for that whole theater pushing thing she's going for.
I believe I said it in one of the episodes of the podcast, but my family and I have a tradition where we go to the movies on Christmas Day.
Yep.
So,
exactly. My point exactly.
Hopefully it will bring out, the festivities in people. Will, get them out. And, let's go see a movie. And, Wonder Woman's out. We like the first one, so let's go.
Yep.
So hopefully maybe this is the movie that brings everyone back to the theater.
Yeah, hopefully.
That could be really good for DC as a film studio,
yes,
but also good for the world, itself,
yes,
and getting people back to doing quote unquote normal things.
Yes. So let's talk Cheetah, shall we?
Yes.
Let's talk Cheetah.
So,
by all means, go Drizzle.
So Barbara. So a little bit. So anyone who doesn't know. So
fair point.
Barbara is Wonder Woman's friend. It looks like they work together in this story setting. They work together maybe in the architecture. Diana was
yes, absolutely.
Whatever, she kept up paintings and stuff.
Yep. She's
preserver
connoisseur,
yes.
whatnot, yes.
So it looks like they maybe work together there, or some aspect of that, but they're friends. In the first trailer, you get a couple shots of them talking friendly,
yes,
and Kristen Wiig's character, seems really nice, and then, there's that jealousy aspect,
yes,
and it seems like whatever Maxwell Lord's doing helps her become something else,
yep,
and it amplifies that jealousy, yep, to a conflict.
Yes.
So she looks pretty dangerous. This is Wonder Woman's. Arguably, this is Wonder Woman's arch villain besides Ares.
I would say Ares, then Cheetah. Cheetah's definitely the most reoccurring for Wonder Woman. As far as the movie goes, I'm getting a very we were talking about this off camera. I'm getting a very big Electro vibe from Cheetah in this movie, as far as Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2. Let me be clear.
I think it's just the glasses.
No. It's the look as well. Like, not only are they similar in character, but they dress exactly the same. So they have that same nerdy, shy, like I'm just a nerd and nobody pays attention to me, nobody ever noticed me. For Electro, it was his birthday, and for her, it's like, nobody recognizes the work I do, and I want to be in the spotlight, and blah, blah, blah. They see Spider-Man or Wonder Woman, they idolize them, right? And they get that, they hype them up in their head. They say, never meet your heroes, right? So they finally meet. It's a big disappointment. They're not best friends like Homeboy made up in his head. Right now he has this crazy envy and, no, you've always had all the fame and you're so selfish and blah, 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 blah. So now I'm going to murder you. So now she's pursuing superpowers, right? So she can able to actually fight Wonder Woman, and that's where Maxwell Overlord comes in, right? I can turn you into a cheetah, So I think I'm just going to call it right now. I think it's going to be a little silly the way they explain why she chose to become a cheetah, right? Because I saw in the trailer, she's jogging, right? Oh, you like to jog? Well, I'm going to turn you into a superhuman cheetah, so you can fight Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying?
She does deliver that line. I want to be an apex predator.
Exactly. Oh, in high school, I was track champion. Oh, really? Well, and you want to be a predator and fight Wonder Woman? Well, I'm going to turn you into a cheetah. I just feel like it's going to be silly.
Yeah. So we get a couple shots of Wonder Woman holding off the Secret Service and some White House guards. Where she's swinging the lasso around.
Yep.
So it looks like Maxwell Lord will his army of sorts is going to be White House staff, White House security, and then I think that's where Cheetah comes in, where he's going to bring her in for the big gun kind of deal, the last defense against Wonder Woman.
And that's his power of persuasion comes in, right? Because yes, he's the president and the Secret Service has to listen to him, but when he's like, hey, go murder Wonder Woman, they question it hey, that's a little crazy. Well, here goes my power of persuasion, and now go murder her. You see what I'm saying?
No, exactly. So I think that's because and then the final battle will take place, and then Cheetah and obviously Wonder Woman will face off. But it looks like there was a big satellite in the trailer, so maybe he's planning on doing so. Because Maxwell in the comics has a grudge against the government. He doesn't like government agencies or superheroes.
True.
So
Yes,
I think
true.
his motivations are
True.
going to lie in, wiping the earth of superhumans,
Yep.
metahumans.
Yep. And also the government.
And also,
government agencies. And how do you do that? You
that's-
run the government.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes, infiltrate the government to to get rid of the government.
Yep.
So, I mean, we don't have too much. I mean, you can get a lot from the trailer, or just doing your research on the characters themselves. But we're really excited about it.
Absolutely.
I really, really, really hope this movie comes out because I am very, very withdrawing at this point for content.
Yes, absolutely. So let me ask you this. This is the first part of DCEU's phase, for lack of a better term, phase 2, correct? First movie of it?
Yes, if you call it that, yeah.
Yeah. For lack of a better term, I call it phase 2 because they don't have really a label for it.
This is where everyone's getting their second movie.
Yes.
And, or first if you're new. But yes. So this is the post multiverse phase. They've announced the multiverse now.
Yep.
And with all the different routes, HBO Max is its own thing, and the cinema is its own thing. But
and then you got animated and CW, and then the TV shows, and it's just this whole cluster.
This is a new era of, and I'm interested to see.
Absolutely.
I am very, very, very interested to see on whether this movie, because the first movie ended with the Wayne.
Yes,
the Wayne truck coming in and delivering her something. Straight cue to Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman. So I'm interested to see where they go from here. If they'll even try to include anyone else at the end, post-credit scene or something.
Yes, because the only way that would happen, same kind of deal, because of time frame.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is 84, so it would have to be something similar to the first movie. But of course, we're going to get some kind of nod, some kind of cameo. I'm just honestly, I'm excited in general for lack of a better term, for DC's Phase 2. Because I think they're actually paying attention to what we're saying and what has been said this entire time, and all the criticism and all the coming from us, the fans, channels like us and other channels, etc., so forth. I'm not shouting nobody out. I think they're actually listening. So phase 2 for DCEU looks really good. The Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 84, The Batman. I mean, the list goes on. These movies look excellent, and I can speak for both of us when I say the Pop Culture Corner is ready and excited, and we'll be there the second they open them doors.
Yeah, we need a movie to review.
Yeah, we do.
God,
yeah, we do. I know.
So that's what we'll be doing Christmas Day.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
So, yes.
Hopefully.
Pcoronavirus, please.
Pump the brakes.
Just
a little bit. In all actuality, people, on a real note, because Big Drip cares about you, wear your masks, sanitize, clean up after yourselves. If you can, stay away from each other. Just please be safe, because at the end of the day, movies aren't important. What's important is our lives. Right, and things are. I know you guys want everything to go back to normal, so do we. But this is the steps we got to take to make it go back to normal.
That was touching.
Thank you.
That was touching. But as always, guys, we are doing everything we can to deliver you what we know and talk about it in a fun way.
Be entertaining as possible.
Yes, and join our push to 1,000. Subscribe, enter for a chance to win an Amazon gift card and or a Pop Culture Custom t-shirt.
You get my name on it, you can get his name on it, or you can get your own name, or put in the comments if you want me to give you a nickname and put it on the shirt. I'm good with the nicknames, baby.
You'll get 8 different choices to choose from.
That's awesome. I can put all 8 on that bad boy if you want.
And we are now available on Patreon, Reddit, and we will be switching from Anchor Podcasts to Podbean.
Big moves from the Pop Culture Corner, people.
Yes. And we do have some other stuff in works. Join us.
We're working on some stuff, guys.
Yep.
I just want to make it abundantly clear for you guys real quick. Drizzle mentioned our Patreon. Now that Patreon, we are going to make exclusive content strictly for the Patreon. We understand how Patreon works, so we want you to understand that we're going to make this content worth your while. We're not just going to give you some plain old, boring, regular content that you could, excuse me, I am never boring. Yes. We are never boring. Poor choice of words. But we are making a content exclusively for Patreon, so please go check that out. We're gonna put our best effort into this. I mean, you're gonna see our A-class work in here, guys. We're gonna put weeks and weeks into this content before we upload it, so please go check that out. You might like what you see.
Yeah, and we will have 2 different tiers. So I've set it up this way so that the first tier, it'll be $10 a month, and you get access to early podcast viewing, exclusive content. I believe there's a couple more, but it's just like regular stuff. You'll get it previous, and you'll get it before everyone else, and you'll get exclusive stuff.
Yep.
And then the next tier is going to be our loyalty club, and that way, so you'll get everything the first tier gets, plus you'll get 4 items per year. So you'll get some stickers, a coffee mug, a t-shirt, and a sweatshirt, all spaced out between 3 months.
Yep.
You'll also get 1 video call with your boys per month.
I know you want that.
Yes.
I know you want that. Let's be real for a second. You would pay that money just for the video call. Let's be real for a second. Do you not want to look into these eyes and have a conversation? I know you do, Pimpin'. So you go find Patreon. You go hit that second tier, baby, because I know you want this.
And the second tier.
I wish I could subscribe.
Yeah, the second tier is an automatic $35. It's for the costs of all the items and stuff.
Yes.
But for $35 a month, you get, a plethora of content and items, merch, whatever. We're still working on it. We're still working the kinks out. So.
Yes, we're new. We're still new. Patreon is literally the newest thing we've done thus far. So give us time. But like I said, the content that will be available on Patreon will be our best A-class effort. And if you see any potential between the two of us, then you know that Patreon is going to have some great A-class content. So please, by all means, go check that out. Check out our YouTube page, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're literally on everything, people. Pop Culture Corner, # we do it for the culture.
Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you Sunday.
Big Drip signing out.